Good morning, my people. What's up, world? Top of the morning. It is Thursday, December 4th, and I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because with him all things is possible. Top of the top to all my kings and queens out there moving. Happy first day of school for all my up north people back here in New York. Safe travels to everybody else going to work, but I was just out there to watch my grandbabies go to school, catch them the first day. Thank God every year I managed to catch them and I caught them again. Safe travels to everybody out there. Please be safe. Just because it's the first day of school, that doesn't mean nothing crazy can't happen. Anything can happen in this world. Everybody arrive to where they're going safe. Parents that got to drop your kids off to go to work, or if you're coming home from work and you have to take them, don't complain about it. Just go ahead and do it. It's a part of the job. Safe travels to all y'all. I hope everybody's feeling blessed, appreciated, and thankful for seeing another day. And with knowing with him, all things is possible. Right? It is Throwback Thursday. I usually kick it off with boxing today. There really wouldn't be no morning chop ups because I try to do boxing in the morning and the afternoon, but that's just too much. So I'll be back with some boxing later on this afternoon. Throwback. Zab Judah versus Corey Spinks. But for now, we just gonna chop it up, man. About whatever. So let's get into it. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everyone, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go and make sure you like, share, and subscribe. People, that this is one of the most dopest chop up places to come to in the morning. Oh man, here's this guy, D Free. All right, let me see what type of shenanigans he's on this morning.
That's what he paid for. Oh,
I know it. That's not the voice of Mrs. Free.
no, that's the voice of your boss. Be quiet when we talking.
Good morning.
Hold on, Mr. Free. Good morning. Hold on, Mr. Free. What kind of shit is that for him to say to me?
You never
That's
know what he
crazy.
gonna say.
Your husband is rude, and that's why I'm glad I didn't have to see him at the barbecue, because he nothing but be rude to me any damn way. The hell with you, Free.
Everybody,
Jesus.
I saw everybody's face at the barbecue. They look like they needed some laughter. They were like, man, ain't nobody out here making us laugh or nothing.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, we
BC,
laughed, but
BC was looking black as ever. I was like,
now
hey,
come on now. Yo, you be on some bullshit. Yo, you be on some bullshit.
you ain't see my Halloween costume? I got BC on right now. I'm BC.
Stop. Don't. Yo, Free. Stop.
You see what it says? It says black.
Yo, Miss Free, I'm not doing this with my husband this morning. I'm not. It's too early for his shenanigans. I'm not doing it. Free, we're not doing this. BC, forgive him. We're not doing this, man. Jesus Christ.
Uh,
I'm not
no,
doing this.
what's good? What's good?
I'm about look, and my stupid ass is about to really ask you, oh, what you got for Halloween? You over here BC for Halloween, man. You ain't oh, whatever, man. So, did Big Dream go back to school? They went back to school today, right? Or they been went back?
No, it been one back. Daisha's been in school for going on 2 weeks. Dream started on Monday.
I think that going back. Did he go back with no problem?
We fine. Dream is fine in school. All the problems happen outside.
Man, you know, Dream look like he'll go upside a couple people ahead if he got.
Yeah. He had a couple of little incidents last year, but it wasn't him. It was like people, I guess, kids was trying to pick on him because he was so small. I was like, nigga, you better fight back. You got all this daggone mouth. Kick him in the peanuts. They be all
Oh
right.
man. And now you probably got him going to school saying, "Oh, Grandpa told me to kick him in the peanuts, kick him in the nuts." Thank you,
Yep,
Free.
yep.
Miss
As long
Free,
as they
your
keep their
husband's a
hands to
great.
themselves.
Your husband's a great example. Jeez, I wish I would have had you in my life. God,
Dream is best friend.
just can't take him to no more strip clubs when you come to New York, okay?
Yeah.
No, no more strip clubs when he comes. That's it. Let's try David.
Nah, but like we told Dream he gotta be good when he's in school, and so a lot of people take his kindness for weakness because he's smaller than everybody else. So I was like, nah, they put their
Yeah,
hands on you, you hit them back. We'll deal with that later. But nah, we're
yeah.
not gonna let nobody just pick on you.
Um, oh, when we talk about, and I think we spoke about this before, but it's been a minute, but it's okay because it happened. The bullying should just be crazy to me because you think sometimes kids just mess with kids and kids are being kids, but then that's how the bullying shit starts. And one thing I can't take in life is a bully, yo. I can't. That shit irks me. Like y'all went to school, and when y'all were younger, I know y'all seen who got picked on that you might have felt like they didn't deserve to get picked on. Was it any time bully that you seen pick on somebody that you know? Did he ever try you Free? Where you like this way? Because I'm not him.
I had one bully in school that I can remember, and he did try with me, but I'm the type of person that I'm not the one that you want to pick on. It's not because I'm a beat you up or anything like that. Because I'm gonna make you look stupid. I'm while you sitting there trying to bully me, I'm sitting there roasting you. So everybody who was sitting there laughing at him, he was trying to bully me, but they was too busy laughing at him that they didn't even care about what he was trying to do. They was sitting there dying laughing. So he just he
Where you
never
going?
he never decide to deal with me anymore. He went around and started dealing with everybody else because I roast him way too hard.
But don't you think that was kind of no, man. I've never seen somebody do that to a bully, and the bully don't. That doesn't piss him off, make him want to fight you, and he actually just moved on to somebody else. If it was so easy like bully, some of y'all better step your roasting game up then.
Nah, I mean, cause it was like when he, cause I'm the type of person, like I said, until you put your hands on me, all I'm gonna do is laugh at you anyway. So like I said, he was trying to bully me, and it wasn't so much physical; it was things that he was saying to me, and I just started roasting him because I knew what he wanted to do, but I wasn't gonna have it. So I just roast him, and I had the entire class laughing at him.
But where did you? Because a lot of kids, or a lot of kids today, are not gonna understand what you're saying. Because a lot of them in their mindset, yo, f that OG. I'd have punched him. But where did you learn that from? Not the roasting, but where did you learn how to deal with bullies like that? Just period.
My
You
father,
learn how to do that.
my, my father, my father, because my father was the one. He always told me. He said, "You ain't got to worry about what nobody say to you. Just worry about if they're gonna touch you." He said, "That's when you need to worry about." He said, "Most times people say stuff to try to scare you. They really don't want to do nothing." He said, "The ones that really want to do something, they're not gonna say nothing to you. They just gonna walk up to you and start swinging." So
Mm.
I learned that from my father at a young age. The ones that talk the loudest are the ones that's really not trying to do nothing. They want everybody else to see what they saying and try to scare you into what they going to do, but they really ain't trying to do nothing.
But
Now,
why you
the
think?
ones that I, the
Why
ones that
why do
I
you?
was
Why,
always scared of, the ones that I was always scared of was the quiet dudes, the ones that never said anything, but he walked around the daggone school pretty much like he owned it, but he never said anything. Those are ones that I was more so worried about because
We had
they literally, like never said anything. The most you ever heard him talk is if you was in a class with him and the teacher asked him a question. Other than that, they didn't say nothing. They just walked around the school.
yeah, we had a girl that was like that. I don't remember her name, but she stayed to herself when she ate her lunch, eat with the other kids. She pretty much stayed to herself, and it's this person that wants to come and try you. And this girl came, it kept provoking her, and then opened up milk and poured it on her for no reason. Hey, free, that shit was like waking up. That shit was like waking up a sleeping bear. That girl got up on, and that had to be one of the worst ass whippings I probably witnessed at that time. I ain't gonna say ever because I was still young, but that was probably one of the worst ass whippings I done seen in school. But it also teaches you to leave people alone.
Sister, when she was in school, my sister was a real quiet person. She never really said too much. She just did her schoolwork and went home. Never really said too much. But everybody knew that she was my sister. She knew she was my brother's sister. So they were like, nah, don't mess with her. She got two brothers that go to this school and they don't play. And so nobody really messed with my sister. So it was her best friend that tried to pick on her. And dude came running to my class like, "Hey, your sister fighting." So I hopped up because my sister never fought. She never fought anybody. The most my sister ever fought was against me and my brother. She fought
Yeah,
us in the house, but she never fought outside. So I heard my sister fighting, so I run out of the class to go see what my sister. I get to the daggone to the fight, and my sister's on top of this girl pounding her. And
damn.
my sister got suspended or whatever. My sister got suspended, but my mother didn't do nothing to her because they found out that it wasn't my sister's fault. The girl swung on my sister because she didn't like the fact that my sister was laughing at what somebody said about her. And so she
Yeah,
got mad because she didn't want to fight the other girl. She swung on my sister because she know my sister is quiet. But she didn't realize that my sister actually know how to throw her hands. Like none of us really knew that. I knew my sister could take care of herself because she used to fight with us all the time, but she never had to do it. So
yeah.
when we got there, man, that girl whole face was bloody. My sister was just on top of her, pounding her whole face. In. I was like, Shawty, get off of her, get off of her. So I grabbed her and pulled her up because couldn't nobody else get my sister off of her. My sister was just going haywire. And so I pulled her off of her, and the teachers and the guidance counselor took her to the office. And now, like I said, that was her first
Um,
fight. That was in middle school. That was the first fight she ever had.
I want to ask Miss Free, what was it like for her in school? 'Cause she seemed like she was the quiet type, and I might be wrong, but she seemed like she might have been the quiet
No,
type. So, what was it like for Mrs. Free in school?
Yeah, I was quiet.
no, she was quiet. She was definitely quiet.
Did you have to
I
deal
never
with
had
any
a
did you have to deal with any chicks trying to pick on you, or you just always had friends and you didn't have to worry about that?
no. Always had friends, kept them laughing and stuff like that. I was popular in school.
Damn, Free, she was the lucky one. Damn.
Yeah,
You know what?
she had
That's
her
probably
cousins
because
go to school
that
with
you
her.
know what? That's probably because Miss Free, they knew you could whoop ass. That's probably what it was. They wasn't gonna try you because you was probably different from the rest of them.
I don't know.
No, she
They
she
never tried.
she was quiet. That's why most time they don't really mess with the quiet people. Like where we from, we it's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of fighting. Like growing up in DC and the DMV area, there was a lot of fighting, and a lot of the kids was taught never mess with the quiet ones. Those are the ones you got to worry about. So a
Yeah,
lot of times the quiet ones are the ones that really never really got picked on. Only time you saw a quiet person got picked on if they look like a nerd. If they look like a nerd, those was the ones that got picked on. But if they look like a regular normal kid and they were just quiet, those they never really got picked on because they didn't
damn.
know what to think about it. And they were like, hold up, they're not a nerd. They got friends. So I don't know what I should do.
Bob walked into the bathroom.
What's going
I walked
Hey,
out.
BC, you see, I got on your costume, BC.
I was trained, but they
BC, I got your
kept.
costume on.
Yeah, Damien. It's strength. It's People are. Hey, let me tell you something, yo. Shut up, D Free. But yeah, Damien. That's where they used to give it to people at. To be honest with you, when you walked in the bathroom, I used to see a lot of kids get. That's where the worst ass whoopings took place. For some reason, homeboy go to the bathroom, 2 or 3 cats follow behind
Yeah,
him. It's over.
I heard that, but we never had. I mean, there was a couple of bathroom fights, but most of our fights happened at when we was at elementary. It happened at recess, or
Yeah.
it happened in gym. We never really had fights in the bathrooms like that. There was a few, but most of them, like I said, was in the gym because that's when everybody running around playing and stuff, and there's a lot of kids there, so people can get their little fight on real quick. But it was mostly at gym or it was after school. We never really had fights in the
Let me
bathroom.
let me ask you and Mrs. Free. This is a question for both of y'all. Well, maybe it didn't happen with Mrs. Free, so I don't know if I can answer this, but I'll ask you real free. Do you remember your first real fist fight?
Yeah. And that the first real fist fight I had was um me getting chased by 4 guys and my father locking the daggone front door and telling me go back outside.
Whoa, it's 4 of them.
That was
How you going to take on 4 guys?
it was 4 middle school guys. I was in elementary. I was like in I think I was like in the 5th or 6th grade, and it was four guys that would sit at the end of the hill. 'Cause like where my school was, you had to walk from the school. You had to walk down the hill from the school, and then you had to come down the neighborhood, and then there was another hill that you had to go down to get to my neighborhood. So like
Yeah.
where I lived at, it was the school. Then I had to go through this neighborhood called King Square, and then I lived in Dodge View, which was hold on.
No.
Hold
Yeah, go ahead. Pause it. Good morning. Welcome everybody to the morning chop up. Smash that like button. Appreciate the ones that's coming in. Miss Fields, I see you, Queen. What's going on? I still got to get you over here, Miss Fields, so I ain't forget about you. BBO ain't gonna keep stealing you
Yeah,
from
my
me.
bad.
No, you ain't gotta listen. I know when she get a call or a pause, it's
Yeah,
all good
so
though. That's like being
yeah,
thrown
so
in and being told sink or swim. Yeah, that's basically what he had to do. D3 at that point had to sink or swim. Yeah.
yeah, so like I said, I had to walk. I went to the school called Dodge Park. And anybody that's from the Landover area, Dodge Park sat at the top of the hill behind King Square. So you had to walk down the hill from Dodge Park and walk through King Square. And then we had this 25-hour store. Don't ask me why it was called 25 hours, but that was the name of the store. And you had to go through the parking lot of that store and go down the hill to get the Dodge View. That's where Martin Lawrence grew up at and everything. So
Oh wow.
we had to go through the parking lot and go down the hill. But before you got out of that parking lot, there was 4 kids that used to sit right there, and they would always pick on people. And so it was me, my brother, my sister, and a couple of my friends. We were walking through the parking lot, and for some reason, they never messed with us, but for some reason, this day, they wanted to mess with us. So they started doing what they doing, trying to grab people book bags or whatever. And I told the dude, I was like, man, you ain't grabbing my book bag. So the dude was like, what? And he was like, man, get him. And I took off. Me, my brother, my sister, we running. So my sister, she get left because she's a girl. She don't run as fast as me and my brother. So
Yeah.
I get to the house, and I get to the house before everybody else. And I'm knocking on the door. My father comes to the door. He's like, man, what the heck you knocking on the door so damn hard for? I'm like, man, these boys is chasing me. He's like, where's your brother and sister? I'm like, they right here. So my father looked out the window. He said, Shawnee and DeWan, get in here. DeWan, go back outside. I was like, what you mean? Go back outside. I'm like, I just told you these boys to chase me. He said, yeah, I know. You about to fight all of them. I'm going to stand right here on this balcony, and you're going to fight all of them. So he goes on the balcony, because, like, when you go up my building, my balcony is right here when you walk into the building. We lived on the first floor. So my balcony right here, you got to walk up to my door and then go into the building. My father standing on the balcony. He like, oh, yeah, y'all wanna fight my son? My son about to come outside. He's fighting each one of y'all, one-on-one. I'm looking at them. I'm like, they in middle school. I'm in elementary school, and these kids, like, they big. So I'm like, I wasn't a big kid at that time. Like, I was always smaller, but I was stocky for my size because I played football. So I'm like, I gotta go back. He like, you either fight them or you fight me. I looked at him. I looked at them. I said, 1, 2, 3, 4. One big ass dude. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big ass dude. I said, I go outside, and my father said, which one of y'all want to fight my son first? And the biggest dude was like me. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh man.
I said, oh, shit. So my father said,
yeah, where you at? You got to pull up.
yeah, so my father said, all right, Dwayne,
What?
go ahead, take your stuff off. Let's go.
Yeah.
Traffic.
So the one thing my father always taught me was, the biggest dude. He said, first of all, if you about to get jumped, you take out the biggest dude. And then he said, second thing you do, if it's a dude much bigger than you, you take his legs out. So the dude stepped to me, and I'm about to fight the dude. The first thing I saw was his kneecap. And the nigga bent down, and I just commenced to swinging. And the nigga dropped. I got on top of him, started welling on him. And my father was like, all right, that's enough. Next. So I like, damn, you ain't gonna give me no break. He was like, next. So the next one stepped up, and we just commenced to fighting. And so by the time I got to the third or fourth one, I was dead tired. So the last one, he got a little punches on me or whatever. I still end up getting him, but he got some workout on me because I was tired. And so my father was like, all right, y'all cool? And they was like, yeah, we cool or whatever. And then they walked off, and then my father was like, all right, come in the house. And he patching me up, putting a little wet towel over my eye and stuff like that.
Well,
my
that's
mother come home, and my mother see my face.
Corrections bouncers 5'10", 170. Really small. Yeah, I mean, yeah. He said I
So
ended up.
my mother seen my face and was like, what happened to my baby? My father was like, he was fighting. The boys tried to jump him. I sent him back
So-
outside. He fought each one on one. And my mother said, the fight's not over because now me and you about to fight.
What?
My mother told my father, the fight's not over because me and you about to fight. You sent my baby out there to fight these boys. Now me and you about to fight.
You grew
So
up in a. You grew up. Listen, you grew
my
up in.
mother swung on my father.
You grew up in a lovely house where everybody was just Jesus. Yo, strength. That's crazy
My
though,
mother
man.
was one of those ones. My mother was one of those ones you did not like. My mother is like Vicky. You see my mother, she's nice and sweet, quiet, laugh and joke. But my mother hands is quick as hell. She got some fast hands.
Chicks would provoke a fight with me after. You know what? I could see Miss Fields. I could see them provoking a fight with you, because I could see you probably been beautiful your whole life, and chicks will see that dudes that they want to talk to or probably ignoring them to talk to you. I could see that happening. I could pretty much believe that. I could believe that. So yeah, I mean it happens. Now I want to go back to those dudes you were talking about. Because I'm sure at some point you had to walk back that same way to see them same 4 kids. What was it like after that?
Yeah.
Did you get cool with them, or they
Oh,
just ignored you?
we was cool after that. They used to come. They became real good friends. They spent the night at my house and everything. We was cool after that.
Oh, damn! Wow!
Like the fighter of the family just got in the car.
Wow!
That's Dacia and Dream of it.
Dacia and Dream of it. She's the fighter of the family. She the one that jump out there with anybody. She just got in the car.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's
You
why
always
that's why Dream is the way that's why Dream is the way he is, because of his mother.
I mean, the
That's
worst thing that can
hilarious.
happen is you go to school messing with Dream, and it's gonna be consequences and repercussion. I don't want to be the person. I don't want to listen. I don't want to. You don't want her running up on you. So y'all better be smart. That might not be the person you want running down on you.
She
Not
just
me.
asked Dream to school to whoop a little girl ass because
Oh
she
Lord.
weighs milk. She
Not
weighs
not.
milk for
Hey,
Dream.
hold on. Now, not a little girl. Oh damn. God damn. That's the definition of anybody can get it. God
No, but
damn.
you understand, like Dreaming, they should be having fight days. Like they have a day where they would just be going, they be fighting. They be cool. They don't be real fighting, but they be fighting. They be that joint going blow for blow. I be dying laughing.
And their mother is the referee.
Oh man. Well, you know, Dream ain't
She
going
be
back down. He's not going back down. That's just
Go,
him. Mrs. D. Yeah. Good morning, Miss Fields. Yeah, but it's so much to worry. It's so much to worry about with these kids. I mean, bullying is something that's always been around for years. Snapping on people, joking on them, that's always been around for years. Um, but I think sometimes we just got to be careful with that.
one day gonna joint froze up because this dad
Because
gotta leave it.
some people are less than fortunate as us. So a lot of times when we bullying somebody and we see them, we don't understand what it is that they're going through, and kids are just less than fortunate. Like some of us can all snap on each other, and it's all good, and then there's those that we can't do that with. But the bullying, man, yeah, the bullying was something
out
that
of the highway.
bullying never
Never
sit
did.
well with me. I never liked bullying. That was always something that it always pissed me off um to see that. And it's crazy, Free, because when we all were going to school, and we all went to school in different eras, but one thing we had in common is that um, nobody got shot where it wasn't schools getting shot up. You might have had somebody bring a gun if you saw that, or bring a knife, or bring a razor, brass knuckles. But when it got to a point where schools started getting shot up, like people coming to the school like, yo, I'm just gonna
I
shoot
remember,
this shit up. It's crazy.
I remember that's the first and only time I ever got in trouble in school. I actually brung a knife to school. I was in kindergarten. I was in kindergarten.
Kindergarten? What the hell was you
and,
doing with
and
a
see,
knife
like
in
my
kindergarten?
my mother's baby brother, he's like, I think he's like 10 years older than me, because my mother had four brothers and sisters. So he's like 10 years older than me. He was in high school. I was in middle. I mean, I was in elementary. I think he was like a junior or a senior.
You're free. Your sound. Free. Free. If Free is on his channel, somebody let him know his sound. Free. I don't think he can hear me. Free.
I had it so the whole
There you
day in
go.
school. The whole day in school, I was cool. I had it in my book bag. Nobody knew nothing about it. It wasn't until we was riding the bus home and I pulled it out on the bus on the way home, and the bus driver seen it and they took it from me, and then they called my mother to the school the next day. I didn't get suspended or anything like that. But they asked me why did I bring it to school, and I told them about it, and they was like, "You can't bring this to school." I mean, I didn't really know. I was in kindergarten. I didn't really know about it then.
Were you being bullied, or you just brought it with you?
No, I wasn't being bullied. I just brought it with me because I liked the butterfly knife.
This dude is you was a different type of dude, man. Different type of dude. Your man said I bought it because I like. I was like, yo, this dude. Kids never be like D Free. Don't be like don't be D
Okay.
Free, y'all.
No,
Miss Free,
I was
Mr.
I
Phil
just
said
I
good
just liked
morning.
it because my cousin was playing with it, so I just found it very fascinating. Like he was doing all the little tricks with the butterfly knife, flipping it, popping it open, flipping it, closing it back. And so he showed me how to do it. So he was like, "You got to go real slow." He said, "Keep your hand on the backside because if you let the blade come down on your hand, you're gonna chop a finger off." He said, "You got to hold it on the backside and then flip it and flip it back." I was like, so I was sitting there playing around with it, flipping it, and so I ended up taking it to school, and I pulled it out on the bus on the way home, and I was showing people how to do the butterfly knife, and the bus driver seen me.
I can't even joke on D Free. Two of my brothers got in trouble for thinking they were tough with the damn blade in their mouth. Shaking my head. That ass whooping they got once they got. Yeah, yeah, yeah. By the time I started carrying razors, I was already in my freshman year of high school. But 1998 was a different year in New York because the gangs were at an all-time high. You had to be careful what type of color you were wearing on your clothes. It's not so much of that today. But you had to be careful in that time. And as I'm coming in as a freshman, I know I'm not really about that life. But at the same time,
You going back to the there?
I had to be careful. So 1998 was a different year because, like I said, gangs were it was different in New York at the time. I think it was a little more dangerous then than it is now. It's a joke today, but then it was really serious. So, and I
Hey,
was down with this little gang. I had just got down with this gang that summer because all of us need some protection, or we feel like we need some muscle, and we feel like if we're down with these people, then who's gonna mess with us? And even when they do, we got backup. But I'm walking around with this razor in my mouth. I don't really know what to do with it. I said, if somebody punched me in my mouth, it's over. I'm done.
see, I look at it as it comes in 360 because, like I said, we we say, "Oh, it wasn't that bad when we was younger," because we was amongst the kids or whatever. We didn't really look at it like that. It was only the kids that was out there in the streets hustling and gang banging and things like that that was getting in trouble. And so, but our parents was looking at it like it's rough out here. Now, it
Yeah,
might not been to the extent that it is right now because we didn't have the whole social media era or whatever. If you wanted to beef with somebody, you had to see them in person in order to beef with them. You wasn't beefing online and then when I come around your neighborhood, nigga, it's on. Now,
yeah,
when we beef, it was because somebody disrespected us in our face. It wasn't the same. Oh, nigga, I'm online and I'm talking crazy to you online. I'm like, nigga, you online. What it is? But it was still bad. Like I grew up in the era where DC was the murder capital for 5 years straight.
yeah,
Um, and it wasn't uncommon to hear that a young person got taken out. That was something that we was used to growing up in the era that I grew up. But now, like, because we're older, we're looking at these young kids like, man, it's crazy as a mug out here. But then I gotta think about it, I was like, hold up, but it probably was the same thing for our
um,
parents when we was younger.
well, I'll say and this is gonna sound crazy, but for the reasons that they are dying is why we look at it the way. Like back then, how can I say it? All right, so it's like the story I told you earlier. When the kid killed the other kid because he sprayed him with the water gun and he asked the kid not to stop spraying him and the kid pulled out the gun. I ain't never heard of that shit happening in my time. You know what I'm saying? It was either you
Hmm.
stop spraying that kid or we was gonna fight, but nobody ended up dead. So I think, yeah, the way we
Right.
look at it is like, okay, kids were dying at that time, but I don't want to say the reasons that kids died back in our time was more acceptable because it wasn't. But when you look at it today, it's just bananas. Like you spray me
Yeah.
and I tell you to stop spraying me, and then you go, okay, I can't spray you, then I'll shoot you.
Yeah.
Like,
Like now,
what the fuck?
nowadays, guns are a little more accessible than it was when we was younger. Like when we was younger, in order for you to get a gun, you had to know somebody that was selling illegal guns, and you would get a gun from them, and they probably had like one or two bodies, or they was involved in another crime or whatever have you. Nowadays, because you can go get a carry concealed license, guns are more accessible now. Everybody is getting a gun, so it's a little different nowadays, as far as the weapons, than it was when
Yeah,
we were younger. The most you might
yeah.
see somebody with when we was younger is maybe a knife or a bat or a chain or something like that. You might see somebody walk up on that. 'Cause like I had a situation where it was a neighborhood fight. My neighborhood was against another neighborhood. I lived in this neighborhood called Mattapony in Bladensburg, Maryland, and we was beefing with Riverdale. Um, and so we had a basketball game, and we went to my middle school was in Riverdale, and so we all went to the basketball game because me and my cousin played on the basketball team, and so my neighborhood came to the game, Riverdale came to the game, and then after the game, we were walking home, and all of a sudden, some just say, "Turn around." I turned around. It was probably about 15 or 20 dudes chasing after us with bats and chains. So I told my
Mm.
brother, I was like, "Look, follow me." We immediately split off away from the crowd. Me and my brother went this way. Everybody else ran that way. And we were like, we're gonna meet back at the apartments. And I went all the way around Riverdale and came back to my apartment complex. I get back to my apartment complex. All the dudes that ran straight, most of them got caught. So they came back all bloody and stuff. Me and my brother, we was unscathed because we broke off from where everybody else was running.
Yo, your brothers were different, Miss Fields. I don't mean to laugh, but they was different. She said you can't have everybody over here joining hands and praying. We on demon time. Um, yeah. My brother, which is not my little brother, he was my little brother at the time before my other brother came. When I was 11, 12, 13, and we used to get into our shits. And I remember he used to always be with me, and he used to be upset because I used to always send him home because I knew that I didn't know how the outcome was gonna turn out, but I used to be like, you got to go home because I knew had I got into something and my brother got hurt, I could take the ass whooping because that was coming to me anyway because I was the oldest at the time. But I knew if he got hurt because of something I was involved in, that was my ass. So I used to always send him off. And he'll go back to the house and, now he got to tell my father, where's he at? Oh, he out there fighting. It'd be me and my homeboys. We getting into it with other kids our age, kids that might be 2 years older than us. And it happened all the time. I mean, it happened for so long where I was just like, you know what? But I always
But,
made it my
I
business
mean,
that if I get into something, let me make sure my brother's not around because have my brother get hurt. Because even at that time, kids were getting killed. It just wasn't like it is today. But had something would have happened to him, oh man, that would have been my ass.
yeah, like even when I did get in fights, because I got in a lot of fights. I ain't gonna say a lot of fights, but I got in my share of fights. Um, but I say probably out of the fights that I got in, I say probably like five or six of them were actually my fault. Most of the time I was fighting was because of somebody else. Either I
Yeah,
was with some dudes and we got into a fight, or my brother started something and I got into a fight. Like it's been times when my brother said, "Dwayne, you gotta come outside. Some dudes want to fight you." I'm like, "Dudes want to fight me?" I'm like, I come outside, I'm looking, I'm like, I don't even know them. No, but your brother said you was gonna whoop our ass. I was like, whoa, what the hell is this? He like, man, they was picking on me, and I told him I was gonna get my brother. He was gonna fuck them up. I'm like, I
You
don't
get,
even know these niggas.
yeah, like you getting me in stuff. Like, come
But see,
on, man.
my brother, when he was younger, he act a lot like Dream acts. Like he wasn't scared of nobody. He talked shit to anybody. He wasn't scared. My brother would literally go out there and fight anybody. He wasn't scared of nobody. But he knew that he had a bigger brother that wasn't scared of nobody neither, that fought better than he fought. So he was like, man, I'm gonna get my brother. And so he'll come get me like, Dwayne, you gotta come outside, them dudes wanna fight you. And I'm looking, I'm like, man, I don't even know these dudes. They're like, well, your brother said you was gonna whoop our ass, so we want to see you whoop our ass. And my mother was like, well, Dwayne, you gotta go out there. I'm
Yeah.
like, Mom, why y'all ain't make Wu fight them dudes? Wu started it. Y'all made me fight the dudes when the niggas chased me home, but because the one said that I was gonna beat their ass, now I gotta go out there and beat their ass.
And
I'm
and
back
that's when
out
I be
there
ready.
fighting a group of dudes again.
But that's when I be ready to beat my brother ass because I'm like, you're not gonna keep getting me in the shit. You're not gonna keep doing that.
No,
Because
I mean, I used to I would whoop my brother ass afterwards, but my mother, my father, they was if the beef come to your door, you handle it.
oh yeah,
So
you
I
had to
had to go
handle
out
it.
there and fight those dudes.
Nah, if the beef comes to
So
your
I
door,
had to
you
go out
gotta
there and fight, and then after the fight was over, me and my brother got into a fight in the house.
yeah, if the
I'm
beef
like,
comes to
but
your
yeah,
door, you gotta
I
do what
never
you
had a
gotta
lot of
do.
fights. I never had a lot. I ain't have a lot of fights that was my fault. Most of the, like I said, most of the fights was because of somebody else. Either I was with somebody and I'm not gonna let them get jumped, or um somebody said something to somebody else and they came and got me.
Um, I think a lot of stuff that a lot of situations I put myself in, a lot of situations that happened, I put myself in it. Either with something I said or I was guilty by association. Because nobody is born with problems. Um, Sometimes problems come looking for you, or sometimes you go looking for it. So a lot of the stuff that I was involved in, I put myself in that situation. And when I take the
My
time and I sit and think about how I was as a kid, and I said there was some situations you couldn't avoid. That I always talk about control. There's a lot of things you have no control over. That it's nothing you can do about. And then there's situations you do have control over, but instead of you controlling it, you let it get out of hand. And sometimes when things get out of hand, there's no turning back. Now you have to deal with what comes with it. When I first got down with a gang, I know what I was getting into? Probably not. Did I know what the outcomes was going to be? Probably not. Because when you're young, you're not thinking. You're
yeah,
just like, yo, I'm rolling with these dudes. These are my peoples. Whatever happens, you're not thinking that somebody might walk up to you and blow your head off because your color flag is not their color flag. Your set is not their set. You're not from their neighborhood. So I don't think that I thought about any of that. And as I got older, I didn't really care about it because as I went from 15 to 19, it was just like, all right, whatever. Now, whatever happens, happens. But yeah, a lot of us didn't take responsibility in a lot of stuff that happened to us because we always would try to point the finger at somebody else to make it seem like, no, man, that wasn't me. But when I sit and I think about a lot of shit that happened to me, a lot of situations I put myself in. Rather if it was
no,
me
I
getting
already knew.
jumped, rather if it was me getting
All
jumped,
the fights that was my fault.
yeah, it became a lifestyle, Miss
All,
Fields. That's
all
what
no
it
no
did. It became
all the fights that I had that was fights. They was because I started the fight. I I started those situations. I started the fight, but the other
yeah.
situations, it wasn't on me. It was
Let
just
me
I was with some people that was beefing with somebody else, or my neighborhood was beefing with somebody else, or whatever. And I was outside that day, and so we had to throw hands.
You know when I
So
really,
like
you know when
like
I,
when I was
you
coming
know,
up, we didn't have no gangs in DC. Like it wasn't no gangs in DC. I mean, the only gang that I can think of when I was coming up, and it was nobody ever seen any of these guys, but we knew that the gang was around. It was called Gangster Chronicles, and we knew that the gang was around, but nobody ever knew anybody that was in that gang. Like I've never met anybody that was in that gang, but we used to see the little graffiti on walls and stuff like that, the Gangster Chronicles and things like that. But nobody, I never knew anybody that was in the Gangster Chronicles, and I knew
um,
a lot of people. I went to a lot of different schools.
the with Miss Phil. So I want to go back to what you said. It didn't only become just a lifestyle. It became normal. I didn't understand the seriousness of it until dudes from other rivals started stepping to me,
She's on her way here.
and now
She's
I'm
on her
like,
way.
oh shit, what am I gonna do? Because you got people who will be down with it just to be down with it, and then you got those who will die for this shit. I wasn't willing to die for it. That's the difference. You got people who's willing to die for the shit, and I wasn't willing to die for it. But if you know, if it happened, it would have happened, and the first thing they would have said is, "Damn, that's messed up. What happened to
She's on
Clarence?" But
her way. She's on her way.
Clarence choose that life. See, we all choose what it is that we want to do with our lives. Rather if it's go to school or whatever it is. So when there's consequences to what you do and you know you can't benefit nothing from it, um, it's nothing you can do. I'm just glad, Free, that I was able to overcome all that and be able to be here at 42 years old talking about it. Like I wasn't out here busting my guns. I ain't out here. I didn't stab anybody. I mean, I had to bust a few cats in their head, and I got my head bust at the same time. But it was a life that I choose to live, and nobody forced me into it. And I'm just glad, that I was able to get past that, man. Because when I look at the kids today, and I talked about this a little while ago, how they don't value their life. They don't
Yeah.
value it.
See,
You can't ask a kid nowadays, where do you see yourself in 5 years? There's only a small portion of kids that could actually tell you where they'll see themselves, and some of them will tell you, I'm not even thinking about that right now, OG. I'm only 16. I ain't got no time to think about 5 years from now. I'm thinking about now.
I was one of those ones that, like I said, it started when I was a kid. I would look at what's going on and I would say, okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I will always look at everybody and learn and saw what they did wrong, and I would do the opposite, or I would try to avoid how they did certain things. And a lot of the stuff that I did was from me watching movies, because I used to watch movies all the time. Like I knew just about any movie. I would know it pretty much word for word, because I would just sit in there and sit in the house and watch movies whenever I got punished and I couldn't go outside. I would just sit in the house and watch movies. And so a lot of the stuff that I see in the streets, I learned from movies, and that's why I think I avoided jail, because I watch how other people move and I watch movies and I was like, nah, I gotta watch my surroundings. I'm not gonna stand out there in front of the daggone strip and everybody know why you standing on the strip. I'm gonna stand over on the cut while everybody else over there. I'm gonna be over here doing my thing. Nobody paying attention to me. They paying attention to that group over there. And so I think a lot of the stuff, it was me watching my surrounding and learning from their mistakes. That's why I never had any jail time. Like everybody that I know spent time in jail, whether they was in prison or they were just in jail, and they had cases on them. Even my brother went to jail for a short period of time. I mean, luckily the charge was dropped on him, but he had to sit in jail for about 2 months or whatever have you. But I was never one of the ones that got any time in jail. The only time I ever got arrested, like I told you, it was a mistaken identity. Somebody said that I had did something that I knew I didn't do because I was in the military at the time. Went to court, and it was nobody there to testify against me. So and that was something that happened in 90 90 96 when I got locked up, when I got arrested for it. This was in 2003. It was 7 years
Yeah,
later. I wasn't
crazy.
even in Maryland at the time when I got arrested. I was in New York. I was
Yeah,
sitting in Mount Vernon, and they stopped me for an open beer bottle and saw that I had a warrant for my arrest. I was like, a warrant for my arrest?
yeah,
They're like, yeah, you got a
that be
warrant.
some bullshit because sometimes they'll take you just to have a freaking reason to take you. But for me, like I said, as I sit and I think about it, and a lot of y'all are gonna say, what does this have to do with y'all talking about school and all? Um, there's gonna be some decisions that you kids are gonna have to make. You can choose to do the right thing, or you can choose to do the wrong thing and continue to keep being a follower until you find yourself in a situation that you can't get out of. Because we all had that mentality that my homies, anything happen, my homies, and you don't realize you get locked up and you got to go to court. Your homies are your guardians. So rather if it be your mother, your father, your uncle, your auntie, your grandmother, whoever. When I look at a lot of things, like I said, free coming up, and I go, you did a lot of stupid shit that your dumb ass shouldn't even be here for. But I didn't understand at the time. Like at that time, I didn't believe in God. So what does that have to do with it? Okay, well, I didn't believe in anything but just living life. Didn't think about death. Didn't think about anything. All I thought about is, hey, getting high, tearing shit up, and trying to get as much women as I can get. I didn't think about that. And I didn't realize that you really ain't built for this shit. And you're doing it because you got so comfortable with it. You're running around and you got people out here that'll die for this shit. And I ain't have to realize that you're out here acting like you really about that life when you got people out here that'll die for this shit. The question became to me is, are you willing to die for this shit? Now, I'm not saying that I was a sucker that you could just have your way with me, even though there was some cats I let get away that did shit to me that they're lucky to be alive today because a lot of them I felt like I should have did something too. But I had to realize this ain't for you. Do you really want to keep going somewhere because your flag is a different color? Do you want to keep doing that? Do you want to be out in public and here it is, you with your girlfriend, you trying to go to the movies and you might have to run because them ops, we didn't call them ops
Stop
then, but
talking. Stop talking to me.
I know you heard her. It sounded like she grunted on the phone.
I
we
gotta
didn't we
pee.
didn't we didn't we didn't we didn't want to we just didn't we got tired of putting ourselves in situations that we couldn't get out of. Oh, who's this? Oh yeah, Tay Tay. What up, Tay Tay? But yeah, I mean, for you kids, you got to start making better decisions than what you're making. You want to run around and I want to be with this gang, I want to be with that gang, I want to be with my homies. A lot of y'all think that y'all ready for some shit that you ain't ready for, and you not ready for what comes with it.
Yeah,
Y'all got to make better.
a lot of them,
Y'all got to make better decisions.
a lot of them, they don't really understand what the gang life is about. A lot of them do it because they see other people do it, and they just feel like, oh, that's the thing to do. Um, because a lot of these kids get into gangs at a young age, and because everybody else is doing it, they just feel like it's a thing to do. But once you get of age, and that's part of the problem. Once you get of age and you realize what comes with being in a gang, you probably wouldn't do it if you knew ahead of time. If you knew this is what you had to do in order to be a part of that gang, or
Um,
this is what goes on in a gang. 9 times out of 10, they probably wouldn't do it. But
um,
because the gangs
Yeah.
get these kids at a young age that don't really know what's going on. They don't really know about the dangers of being in the gangs and things like that. That they end up joining, and then once you in there, it's hard to get out of a gang. Most times, gangs don't let you out.
Yeah, they don't let you out. So how I got out was the gang I was in, they just basically dismantled us. Like it was almost like dinosaurs. They just so and I'm kind of glad it happened because people were starting to die behind it. The first time I see somebody get cut across their face, that's when I knew. And even then, I still didn't get out because I'm like, okay, that's not me. I'm not worried about any of that. But the first time I witnessed somebody getting cut across their face, and I'm just like, oh shit, this is real. This is real. That could have easily been you. Um, and I, like I said, I continued on doing it for probably about 5, 6 years, man. You know, the girlfriend that
Yeah,
I had at the time in high school, you know, it's funny, right? Because this, all right, so for you young brothers out there, just remember, you're down with the gang. Your girl may not necessarily be down with the gang, but she's guilty by association because she's your girl. Now, what do you think what do you think the ops are gonna do when they can't catch you? What do you think they're gonna do when they see her? I mean, rather she's gang related or not, she's affiliated with you. That's your girl, right? So they can't catch you. What do you think they're gonna do when they catch her? And this is something that you guys need to think about. You know, or you know, that's not my business. She know how to fight. She know how to hold herself down. That's not what I asked you. What do you think is going to happen when they catch her because they don't see you? And this is something that y'all need to think about. Ladies, you need to think about running around with these dudes that can't do anything for you. And if something happened, these dudes can't do anything for you. You're going to end up being somewhere sitting in a cell or court, and your boyfriend's not coming to get you out. He can't do nothing for you. So now the same lady that you've been disrespecting, your mama, you know, the one that say that you can't stand that bitch and she don't do anything for you and I hate that hoe and I hope she die. The same one you keep violating is the same one that's gonna have to come there and get you out. Oh, I can't stand my grandmother.
yeah,
I hope she die. Just know that that's the person who got to come get you out. So that's something for you young ladies to think about.
they ain't thinking about that. Nah, but Tay, go back to what you said. You don't. I mean, it's not so much you get beat to get in, you get jumped in, and the meaning behind it is they want to know, can you hold your own? If you get caught up in a situation, are you going to be able to fight your way out, or are you going to just ball up and not fight back? So that's the whole meaning behind getting jumped in. They want to know, can you hold your own? Because a lot of times what they do is they have the jump in, and if you don't fight back, you just got beat up. You're not in the game. You just got beat up. If they don't think that you can hold your own, they're not letting you in the game. So they want to know if you can hold your own. So there's been situations where individuals try to join a gang and they couldn't hold their own. So they just end up just getting beat up by the gang because they didn't let them in the gang.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I had to take a serious ass whooping, and it was bad. I had about 4 or 5 dudes on me, and it was whoo. And I had to ask myself, as this is going on, I'm asking myself, damn dog, is this worth it?
But I know individuals. When I lived in New York, there was a couple of individuals that went to go join a gang or whatever, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I just got jumped in." They came back, knots on their face and stuff like that. I just got jumped in. I was like, "All right, hope you have fun." They were like, "What that's supposed to mean?" I said, "Cause I'm not chilling with you. I can't chill with you. I'm not part of that gang. You ain't bringing none of that stuff around me. I got a kid. You ain't bringing
Yeah,
none of that stuff around me. I never been the one that needed a gangs. Like in DC and Maryland when I was coming up, we didn't have gangs. Like I said, it was more so you ride with your neighborhood. Your neighborhood get into a situation, you got into a
um,
situation because those were the people that you chill with on a regular basis. But if you moved out of that neighborhood, you was no longer part of that neighborhood anymore. Like I had situations where I lived in a neighborhood, we was beefing with another neighborhood, so we got into it. I ended up moving from that neighborhood and moving to the neighborhood that I just got finished fighting with. Now I'm living in that neighborhood.
let me tell you. Besides all that, what it did for us was make us go against some people we grew up with. Um, because sometimes the people that you beefing with or that you think you got an issue with could be people that once upon a time you were cool with. And because we picked different sides of the streets to be on, now we got to abide by the rules. Yeah, I like you, my G, but because your color flag is this color and mine is this is what it comes to. And it really didn't make any sense. And then it's kind of hard for you to be cool with this person, knowing that he's affiliated with this, because as soon as your people find that out, now they want to whip you out. Because the rules
I
is
remember
you can't do that.
I told you I got a large family. And I remember when I first moved in Bladensburg, we had just moved from Landover. We moved to Bladensburg, and it was we had moved all our stuff in our house, in the apartment and stuff like that. And me and my brother and my sister, we wanted to go play at the little playground in the park or whatever. So my mother, it was across the street from my apartment. So my mother like, y'all go head over there. Y'all just make sure y'all stay there. If y'all go anywhere else, let me know where y'all going before y'all go. So we go to the little park and we playing on the swings and the monkey bars and things like that. And some dude come up and wanted to talk to my sister. And me and my brother, we was real protective of our sisters. We like, nah, dog, get away from my sister, whatever. And so one of the dudes said something slick, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Man, go ahead, get the hell away from my sister, man. Leave my sister alone. She out here, she on the swing. Leave her alone. Let her be about her business." And so, whole argument start, and I guess he was a known kid for the neighborhood, and he's known for fighting or whatever. And so I'm about to literally, me and my brother about to put a whooping on this dude. We about to really jump him, and one of the dudes that was with him, they were like, nah, y'all not gonna jump my man. Y'all can fight him, but y'all not gonna jump my man. I was like, nigga, you can get in it too. So we going back and forth. My mother hear the situation, so my mother comes outside and she breaks the whole thing up or whatever. So the next day we had to go to school. My mother had already put us in school. I'm standing at the bus stop. My sister and my brother was still in elementary. I was in middle school. So I'm standing at the bus stop. The two dudes is at the bus stop with me. And so they still talking. I'm like, man, we could do whatever. School is over. We can do whatever. It is what it is. So we go back and forth. I end up getting into a fight with the dude and his man that was like, y'all not gonna jump him. I was like, nigga, you can get it after I finish whooping your man. And so we going back and forth. I whooped his man and I'm like, all right, you ready to get it on? And so we about to get it on. His mother comes out and break it up. Come to find out, this nigga is my cousin.
Oh,
Me and him about
that's
to go blow
crazy.
for blow, and come to find out he my cousin. So, cause his mother took me in the house, and she was like, "What are y'all about to fight for?" And I told her the whole story, and she was like, "JoJo, what you about to fight him for? Your friend was wrong." And so she going back and forth, and we started talking, and then it wasn't until his mother met my father, and they started talking. Come to find out, they're first cousins, which mean me and him is cousins. But we about to go for blow, and we didn't even know that we was cousins. And till this day, JoJo is around my family. He called my mother Ma and all that. I call his mother Ma,
Um,
and he was in my wedding when I got married to Vicky and everything. He's
I
always been
think
around. This
I think
happened
I
in
think a lot of
what
people are confused.
1980, 89. This happened in
People,
1989. He's been around my family ever since.
people are confused about the definition of beef. People are confused about what being in a gang is. And I speak about this all the time because nowadays you don't even have to be so much just in the gang. Now it's because you're from this block. It's not even about who you're affiliated with. It's just that you're from this block and we don't like y'all. We never did. And that's something that's been going on for centuries and it still goes on still to this day. But just coming up when I was coming up, I survived the era where you had to be you know what? You didn't have to be no gangster, but you had to have some type of, I don't know, man. You had to survive. You had to make it the best way you can. Rather if you was a sucker or not, you had to find a way to make it. So, like I said, as I sit and I think about how my life went, I'm like, man, you dodged a lot of bullets in life. And a lot of dudes that I hung with back then, a lot of them I'm not cool with anymore. But when I see some of them are still alive, I go, man, that's dope. That's cool. But I wasn't a big believer. I wasn't no big believer in no God.
I dodged
I always
bullets.
thought the gods. I always thought the gods was the dudes I was walking around with. I always thought the gods was the dudes that was putting in work. I didn't really
Literally
believe
dodged bullets.
any of that. So that was me. You talking about as a teenager?
No,
You know,
I had more bullets fired at me in the streets than I had in law enforcement.
you know what? This is more than talking.
I'm being honest though. I had more bullets fired at me in the streets than I did in law enforcement.
Yeah, yeah. Miss Fields, you know what the problem was, Miss Fields? I felt like at the time I was just starting to live life. I thought that was living life because I had lived a life before that where I lived with my pops. Once I moved from him at 15 years old, we stopped seeing eye to eye and I didn't want to live with him no more. Once I went to go live with my sister, it was off to the races from there. It was off. School wasn't important. It came more important to run the streets.
No, she ain't like
Um,
this.
I started getting high, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes. We are responsible for how our lives turn out. And I think a lot of people, that's why a lot of people walk around bitter now, right? And they always have them stories of what they could have been. And, I would have been the next Michael Jordan I could sing. I would have been the next Michael Jackson or I could fight. I would have been the next Mike Tyson. And I go, all that shit is cool. I never talk to these kids and tell them that what I could have been because coming up, I played basketball. I was a great shooter.
And see
Straight up.
that's the issue now that like the era that we grew up in, you had to know how to fight. Whether you was a fighter or not, you had to know how to fight because at some point in your life, you was going to get into a fight coming up in elementary, middle school, or high school. At some point, like I said, my sister was the one that never messed with anybody, but she had to fight because her friends
Yeah.
swung on her. She had to fight.
I think they get the definition of you had to know how to fight. I think they get that twisted word with you didn't win the fight. Knowing how to fight is not winning the fight.
No,
Because there's always going to be somebody who can thump a little better than you and they're going to get the best of you. So, people kill me. You don't know how to fight. You lost. It ain't about winning, motherfucker. It's about fighting back.
It's about fighting back and not being a coward. Like I could tell you 95% of the kids nowadays don't know how to fight.
No, none of them don't. Let me tell you something. I ain't going to say none of them don't. They do, but they just got this thing where, how could I say it? Because I've seen a few kids throw hands and get it in, and then I've seen where a group of guys see their man getting their ass whipped, and it's 1-on-1, and then they go, let's get him. Which that's been going on since I was in school. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but there was a lot more people back in my days where they knuckle game was spectacular. There was kids that I was going to school with that was whipping grown ass men.
Yeah. Like I said, nowadays these kids don't know how to fight. Like if they really had to fight. Like they said, okay, you can't use no weapons. You can't go get a gun. You can't go get a knife. Y'all gonna fight, and that's gonna be the end of it. A lot of times they probably wouldn't even fight.
Yeah, they
They'll
gonna tell
sit
you,
there.
nah, I'm good. I'm good because if he beat me, then I'm gonna have to go get my thing. You're like, what you going to get it for? Check your ass with.
I literally saw a young dude get into it with a older dude. This dude, the older dude had to be somewhere around his mid-30s, and they got into an argument. This young dude was probably like 18, 19 years old, and the young dude was the more aggressive one. He was like, man, I'll whoop your ass, this and that. And the older dude was more so trying to like, man, go ahead about your business, whatever, get out my face. But the young dude kept pressing the action. So the older dude was like, man, fuck me. He took his shit over. He like, let's get it on. And the young dude put his guards up, and I guess he must have saw how the older dude wasn't backing down. He like, man, you ain't even waste my time. And he walked off. I was like, you was the one that was pressing for the daggone fight. The older dude was telling you go about your business. You was pressing for it. Now he ready to throw the hands. You like,
But a lot of them are suckers, man, and that's what you're gonna see them do. But like I said, in my time, old, young, middle age, let me tell you, you better know how to do something besides just run your mouth. You didn't have to be the best fighter. Because even when I was going to school, if you lost, people they claim that you don't know how to fight because you lost. And I'm like, now that I think about it, it ain't about knowing how to fight ain't winning. Stupid.
no,
And if that's what y'all teaching y'all kids, you're not preparing them. They're not. I'm not saying that they got to get into a fight all the time and get their ass whipped, because then that's probably when you maybe need to put them in boxing or some type of self-defense. BVO, what's up? But
can you hear me?
that's
Can you hear
not
me,
the
Clarence?
definition. That's not the definition of knowing how to fight. Because he didn't win, she didn't win. No, you ain't winning them all. And that's what's wrong, because you got a lot of these kids that think that shit, every
No,
altercation I'm getting into, I'm a win. No, you
it's
ain't,
not.
little dude.
It's not about winning. It's not about winning. It's about standing up for yourself.
Yeah,
Because when it comes down to it, and the going gets tough, are you gonna be the one that's gonna stand your ground, or are you gonna be the one to tuck tail and walk off or run off? When there is nowhere to run, are you going to stand your ground, or are you going to find a way to escape? Because at
yeah,
some point in your life, you got to be able to say, I'm willing to stand my ground
yeah.
at some point in time in your life. And if you're not willing to stand your ground, you're going to get ran over your entire life.
So when I'm able to sit here and be able to talk and tell y'all, it's because I went through some things. It doesn't matter if I've been to prison. It doesn't matter if I shot anybody, stabbed anybody. Y'all be want to glorify all these dudes that tell y'all all these war stories, and that's cool. It's not about so much what you've been through. It's about you survived it. I know guys who were nerds and never went through none of that. And sometimes they got caught up in shit. It's not about, it's not even so much about if you were gang related. It's not even so much about what hood you was from. If you would manage to survive that time in that era, and you're a 70s baby, you're an 80s baby, maybe even possibly a 90s baby, but mostly 70s and 80s baby, you blessed.
Yeah.
You blessed.
Like I
I'm
told
blessed
my
to
I
say in
told
a couple of months, I'm gonna be 43 years old in a couple of months. That's a blessing. It ain't about, oh, that's not old. Let me tell you something. I spoke about this recently. I had a friend, I forgot what the YouTube channel is, but I had a friend named Kirk Evans. If you look him up, it's on YouTube, who was murdered back in 2003. 19 years old, murdered. That probably was the worst murder for me, because me and him go back since 94, since we were little kids. We talking about 10, 11 years old. That shit hurt. And then a couple months later, I had another one of my homies that had his head blown the fuck off. He was in the drug game, selling coke and crack. Clearly just blew his head completely off. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm still running around here on my gang shit. And I'm like, okay, at some point, I'm not thinking about it then like that. But I'm like, okay, now I'm like, back then at some point, your time was going to run out on the clock too. But I didn't realize then God had a plan for me because I didn't believe in no God like that back then. But he had to have a plan for me because he still have a plan for my black ass because I'm obviously still, and I'm not here because of my good looks. So, but I'm not trying to get religious, but I look at it, D-Free, we're losing more youngsters today than we did then.
Yeah,
Like,
I
if you
mean,
look back in the 80s, when you look at the drug dealers in Alpo and you look at all these people from DC and New York, and a lot of them was coming outside at the young age, right? That was a little more understanding why it was young kids dying back in the 80s like that. Look at the life. And even back then, Free, guilty by association. How many women have died because of who their boyfriends were? Oh, we can't catch this dude. We outside the club waiting on him. We never see this dude. We never see him. Oh, he out of town? But ain't that his broad right there? All right. Let's send a message.
like nowadays is different than when I was younger, because like I said, when I was younger, the women and children was off limits unless you was part of the drug game and things like that. But as a regular individual, women and children was off limits. Nowadays,
Yeah.
they don't care who it is. I mean, they don't
Um.
they don't care. They don't care if you are the person that they're looking for or not. They don't care if you standing next to the
Um.
person. You ain't got nothing to do with the situation.
Well, I told you the incident that happened out here in Harlem just this past May when the grandmother was shot in her head. I believe she was coming out of her apartment or she owned a store, a bodega, black woman. And she knew her son was outside, I think her grandson or something. She went outside, and before she could even get to react to anything that was going on, a bullet hit her right in her head. And I'm like, damn, Mother's Day was coming up. Y'all just ruined these kids' Mother's Day.
Yeah.
All because you idiots want to shoot at each other. You don't hit your fucking target with your non-shooting asses. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. And it's something
Yeah,
that it just continues to go on. It's just the act of disgusting behavior that makes me. It just the way our people and people gonna say, well, you got to remember you were young too. But yeah, I was young. But even though I was in the gang, I had morals. It was certain things we didn't do. We wasn't messing with the elderly people. We didn't pick on the kids that wasn't fucking with us. I really didn't pick on nobody when I was gang related, believe it or not, because that wasn't me. If you wasn't messing with me, I wasn't messing with you. That's simple. Even though we were gang related, we were still kids that wanted to go and have fun. All we wanted to do was get numbers, play basketball, and do what we do. You wouldn't even think we were gang related. You really wouldn't think. Because we didn't go around looking for a fight. We'll let the fight look for us. Other than that, we all wanted to go home, to live to see another day. These kids today don't know what it means to live because they don't moral their life. But some of you adults, you don't value your life neither. We take it out on the kids, but some of y'all don't value your life. Oh, because I'm 65 years old, I lived past that time. I can do whatever I want. What does that got to do with teaching these kids how to value their life? Because you don't value yours. That's why I be like Free. They be like OGs. I be like, nigga, I ain't got no OGs out here. My OG is G-O-D, God. I ain't got what I look like calling a grown ass man. My OG. My big, or not my OG, but my big homie. Hell no. What I look like? Yeah, maybe when I was younger. I'm not calling you my big homie. Get the fuck out of here. Gotta be kidding me. Your big homie can't do nothing for you. Can't get you out of
Yeah.
prison. Can't get no good lawyer for you. He might be able to throw you a few dollars or maybe some drugs and tell you to get out there and sell this if you want this money. But he can't do nothing for you.
Like when a lot of people say, "Oh, they call you a OG," I'm like, I ain't no gangster. They calling me an OG because I'm an old gentleman, not an old gangster. I ain't
Yeah,
never been a
I ain't
gangster.
no. I ain't no old gangster.
I ain't never been a gangster. Never wanted to be a gangster.
I
I
was
was just
around,
all
you know
about
what? I was
playing
around gangster
playing
shit, but I
sports
was
and
never
making
no
money.
gangster. You know what I tell
That's
people, Free? I was never a street dude. I was just a dude in the streets. And I don't think people know the difference between that. A lot of these dudes think they street dudes. You're not a street dude. You're just a dude in the streets. You're not a street dude. Trust me. I don't care how much you try to convince me. You're not a street dude. Straight up. Every dude that was a street dude, if he's alive today, he'll be he'll explain it to you. He'll explain it to you. You're not a street dude. Y'all just dudes in the streets. Trust me, you're not. You're not.
like
Oh, what you mean?
my
I'm out here every day putting in work. What work you putting in? Robbing people?
like I said, I was always one of the ones that I was just about playing sports and making money. Like like I said, I had a job from the age of 14 up until now. I've always had a job, but I was all if before I had a job, all I ever did was play sports. I played football since I was 6 years old, all the way up until I was 35 years old. I've been playing football. I played from Pop Warner to high school to college to semi pros. I, I've always played football. I've always played basketball. I played basketball in high school. I played the AAU team. My wife will tell you, when we was younger, all I ever did was play sports. I barely seen her when we was boyfriend and girlfriend when we was younger because I was playing sports. I was practicing for football, or I was getting ready for a track meet, or I was getting ready for a wrestling match. I was always in the sports. If I wasn't doing sports, I was in the house doing my homework, and then I would come outside. But she didn't live in the same neighborhood that I live in, so I would very seldom see her. Most of the time I see her is when I would go over my cousin's house or I would go to church. But
Yeah,
like going to hang out with my girlfriend and things like that, I didn't do that. I didn't really care about girls like that. I had girlfriends and things like that, but I didn't care about girls because I was playing sports. I wanted to be an athlete. That was my whole goal, to be an athlete. I wanted to play in the NFL. And so I will always spend all my time getting ready for football season, getting ready for a football game. That's where all my time went to.
yeah. Hey man, I'm just glad that I survived it, man. I just sit and I think about it sometime and I reminisce and I go, man. Sometimes there's some, I wish I can go. I don't want to say wish, but there's a few things I could change. There would have been a lot of things, but I don't really regret a lot of things I did. Um, I don't really
You
regret it because sometimes you need to go
you
through
can't
stuff.
see that I hear people say they regret um things they did.
No, I
Me
don't regret a
me
lot of things
personally,
I did.
I don't regret the things that I did. I regret the opportunities that I missed. I don't
Yeah,
regret anything that I
yeah,
did
I don't
because
regret it.
the things that I did, the things that I did made me who I am now.
Yeah,
The things that I went through in my life made me who I am now. I regret missing the opportunities that I had. That's what I regret. Missing out on the opportunities that I have, because there was a lot of opportunities I could have did something different and my life would have been, it probably would have turned out differently. But I don't regret anything that I did because I'm the man that I am now because of the things that I did in my past. So if I didn't do those things in my past, I wouldn't be who y'all see today. I would probably be a lot different. I would still have the same sense of humor and the same morals and the same goals in my life, but I
yeah,
probably will be something different. I probably wouldn't be on YouTube. I probably wouldn't be working at the job that I'm working at now. So there's probably things
yeah,
that I wouldn't be doing right now if I would have did other things, but I don't regret nothing that I did in my life because I didn't do anything that was worth regretting. I didn't do anything that in my life that was worth regretting. I
Yeah.
didn't take nobody out.
No, I
I
didn't.
didn't
I didn't
rob
take
a bank
anybody
or
out.
anything like that. I didn't spend no time in jail or in prison or anything like that. So I don't regret anything that I did in my
Yeah,
life.
I didn't mess with any of my friends, girlfriends, or anything, and you know what I'm saying, and nothing like that. So yeah, I don't regret all that. It is what it is. What happened happened. I lived through it. I'm here to speak about it, and hopefully, some of these kids
See,
will learn now.
and see, that's what a lot of people gotta they gotta look at things that happen in their life and learn the lesson that it teaches, whether it's good or bad lessons. You gotta learn the lesson that it teaches you because you only get this life one time, and your entire life is a test. Is a learning process. Your entire life. I don't care how young or how old you are. Your entire life is a learning process, and you have to learn from everything that happens each and every day. Things that you did yesterday, you got to learn. Oh, I could have did that a little bit better, or I shouldn't have spent so much time on that, or whatever have you. You got to learn from everything that you do each and every day because this whole life is a lesson. And
Yeah,
what you get out of the lesson that you're being taught is on you. You got to sit there and understand it's a lesson. You gotta look, like most people look at it. Oh, this is my life. I'm gonna go through life and do what I gotta do. No, you gotta understand that life is a lesson that's being taught to you. Everybody said, "Oh, you gotta learn from your mistakes." You gotta learn, period. Whether it's a mistake or it's not, you gotta learn, period, because you only get one life to live. You gotta learn from everything that you do each and every day. How can you get better?
yeah. People just never will understand that, and when we have these conversations, oh man, y'all act like y'all wasn't kids. We do. We just explained it to you. Stupid. For those that just think that we're coming up here and we're judging. We're not. We just gave you the whole rundown. And some of y'all need to take it and use it for your kids. Because if you ever think that there's a time that
Yeah.
your daughter's not out there having sex, if you think that your son ain't gang banging, if you think that your daughter ain't using drugs, you better think again. Check on them. See what's going
Yeah.
on.
Like you hear the old people say you gotta play the cards that you're dealt. If anybody plays spades, you'll know this analogy. You might get dealt a hand that you look at, you be like, man, I can't make no books off this hand. But as the game goes on, you realize you skated this queen through and made a book. You skated this jack through and made a book. This ace where you had a bunch of the same suit, you still made a book off that ace that you probably wouldn't count as a book. Once the cards are dealt to you, you got to play them out. It's how you play them, whether you can make a book or not. It's the same thing with life. With the things that you're being given in your life, how you put it out, how you play it out, is how you can make better with your life or not. Like everybody's not born into $1 million or born into a rich family. You got a lot of people that's born into the projects. Well, you
Yeah,
got a lot of people that made it out of the project that became millionaires. How did they come out of the project and became millionaires? They played the cards that was dealt and they made a book. Even though it looked like they might not have any books, they made a book. So it's the
yeah,
same thing. You gotta play the cards that you're dealt, and you gotta make a book out of it. You gotta find a way to make a book where you think there is no books in your hand. There's a book there. You just gotta play it properly. You gotta play it properly.
yeah. And it's that simple. And if nothing's not going right for you, it's because you ain't trying. Some people are just comfortable. Like I mentioned earlier, Some people are comfortable. When I got down with the gang, I got comfortable. At any point, I could have not either joined it or just said, I'm out of here. Wouldn't have been that easy at the time. But yeah, man, you know, we all are responsible for how our lives turn out, and nobody else is responsible for that. So this is the reason why the young generation, you guys need to understand that. Why should
Yeah.
we listen to y'all? We just gave you a rundown why you should listen to us. You don't have to listen to us, but let me tell you something. There's more kids going to prison now than they were when I was young. And I ain't talking about jail. They're going to prison. They're going to prison. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, getting crazy years, football numbers. Well, he shouldn't have got that many years for that. Well, his ass should have never thought about doing what he did.
Uh,
And
I'm
the
gonna tell
crazy
you
thing
something.
is, you don't have to do anything. You could just be with somebody who's doing something. Guilty by association. How the hell did my boy get 10 years and he's not even the one that pulled the trigger? Guilty by association.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something that somebody told me a long time ago. You're you're going down a road, whatever situation you are in your life. You're going down a road. You know what the end result going down this road. That don't have to be the only way to make it to the end of the road. You can turn to the left and still make it to the end of the road. You could turn to the right and still make it to the end of the road. It's all about the different avenues are available to you. Are you going to use each avenue? Are you going to use the avenues that's available to you, or are you just going to go straight? Like the end of the road is a pot of gold. You go straight down this road. It's a whole lot of obstacles to get down that road. But there's an avenue that you can go this way that's easier. There's an avenue that you can go that way that's easier to get to the end of the road. Are you going to continue going straight down the road, even though it's a straight shot, but there's a lot of obstacles? Or are you going to take the other avenues that's available for you to get to the end of the road where there is no obstacles? It's all about how you want to make it to the end of the road.
Yeah.
So if you want to go through the obstacles, you can. If you want to take advantage of the avenues that's given to you to make it to the end of the road without having to go through those obstacles, that's up to you. A lot of people say, well, I'm in the projects. Only way I can do is by hustling. Nah, you can make it out of the projects without hustling. You can go get a job over here that pays a decent amount of money, or you can go get a job over here that pays a decent amount of money, or you can go to school and get a degree where you can get a better paying job. You only want to hustle because that's what you want to do. That's not the only option for you. That's what you want to do. There's other options. You just got to go out there and look at the other options. And like I told you the other day, my son didn't go to the school that looked at the school. There was other options that they was available for you where you didn't have to pay for studio time. You didn't have to find this and that or whatever have you. You don't give your chance to look at other options. You only see what's in front of you. You don't see that there's other options because you're so focused on getting there because you know if I do this, I know I'm gonna make this amount of money. I know there's gonna be clientele coming in because they want this. But you don't see that there's an easier way to do it. You
Yeah.
don't want to look to see if there's an easier
Um,
way to do it.
we have the most lame excuses when it comes to some of our people that, for those particular reasons you said, I'm in the PJs. I come from this kind of home. My father wasn't there. Mother strung out on drugs. Grandmama raised me. If you look around, we all have the same type. And and I'm not saying it's not true, but it's too many people being comfortable using that same lane. And I go, all right, but what about now? That might have been how you came up or who you came up with. What about now? What do you mean now? All right, so with all that you went through and how you came up, what do you take that and do with it? What do you take it and do with it? Do you continue to use it as an excuse, Or do you say to yourself, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna overcome all this shit, and I'm gonna show people that you can overcome this, and this is whatever you want to be in life, we can make it out. We can make it out, so
You
we can
know,
be able to come and get people who want to make it out.
you know who's the only failures in life? The people that never try.
Of course,
Those are the
the
only
people who are
failures.
comfortable. Those are the ones that's comfortable, free, because anybody can make it out. I don't have certain resources, but what are you talking about? And these are the
You
same
can't.
people free, that makes excuses for why they can't be what they want to be, but then sit in their neighborhood and wait for somebody else to be successful, and then got the nerve to look at them and try to live off their success. Now make that make sense. Kind of shit is that? I don't understand. You have the same opportunity that I have. Now, we might not make it out the hood the same way. It's not for everybody to make it out the hood the same way. Everybody don't make it out the hood the same way. Some people have became doctors. Some people have became good lawyers. Some people have waiting to open up their own restaurants, their own whatever it is. But we all have opportunities to make it out. If you don't make it out, it's because you choose not to. You choose not to. If some of y'all are comfortable right where you stand. You know, if it was meant for me to get out, I would be out already. How you think you're going to get out if your ass don't try? You think somebody's going to come knock on your door and tell you, hey, it's about that time you get up out of here. You know, it's time for you to go be something in life. Let's go. Y'all got to make it make sense, man. Y'all say some of the wildest shit out your mouths, man. Y'all got to make it make sense.
Yeah.
If it was meant for me to get out the neighborhood, I would get out the neighborhood. Well, what's meant? What's meant? What does that word mean? Are you waiting for somebody to come knock on your door and tell you that, hey, free, time for you to get out the hood, man? I'm the one that's coming to get you out.
You can't. You're never gonna make it out if you don't try to make it out. You're never gonna get a good paying job if you don't apply for the job. If you don't apply for the job that you want, you're never gonna get it. You're like, oh, they're not gonna hire me. How would you know if you never applied?
Yeah. Yeah. That job is way out of my league. Way out of your league. That job is way out of your league and you won't apply. But you're going to make sure you apply for those benefits. You're going to make sure, if you're on food stamps, you're going to make sure your ass apply for that. For you women that's on child support, y'all going to make sure y'all goddamn go down to that courtroom and you're fighting for money that you ain't even necessarily getting. Oh, I'm about to strike a nerve on here. Do y'all see some of the shit that we do that don't make sense? Does that make sense? Or am I wrong? Y'all will fight for everything. Oh, you women, y'all gonna go down to the courthouse. I'm gonna get this money, and knowing that you ain't even getting all of this shit. Or I'm gonna get these food stamps. Y'all fight for shit that you know that you feel like is worth fighting for. But when you say, hey, there's this job, this is opportunity for you to do this. Nah, man, free. I'm good, free.
Opportunities are like lottery tickets. You can't cash in on an opportunity if you don't play the lottery. If you can't cash in on the lottery if you don't play. You can't cash in on an opportunity if you don't take it.
It just kills me, free. The shit that if they put the same energy into the shit that they fight for, when it's time for you to get your shit together, who's gonna stop you? Nah, man, you know, I'm cool. I'm just gonna go get these benefits. I'm gonna go get these EBT. I'm gonna go get these benefits, and then I'm gonna just go back to my hood, and I'm gonna go get a good old sandwich from the bodega, and I'm just gonna kick it.
I laugh at a lot of people that do that. I said, so you are willing to go sit at a social service building for 4 to 5 hours, sometimes
Maybe
even
longer.
longer, out of your day, when you could have just worked at a job and you didn't have to worry about people being all in your business.
Yeah. And then
You got
got
to
the
fill
nerve
out
to be
all
like,
this. You got to fill out all this paperwork. Then go
yeah.
to that window, fill out all that paperwork. Then go to that window to fill out all that paperwork just to get $300 a month.
I remember my homegirl got mad. And she was like, yo, I ran into her in the street one day. She go, yo, man, damn, I hate going to welfare. I said, what? What's the problem? I said, yeah, they're a pain in the ass. I saw so-and-so and so-and-so. I said, but what? It's a welfare building. There's no such thing as you're going to go there and you're not going to see somebody you know. You think you're the only one that's applying? You think you're the only one that's on it? Now she hot. What you hot about? What you hot
It's
about?
like I never understood how people can spend so much time at a welfare building when you could have spent not even 10% of that time in an interview.
I had a lady tell me something crazy when I was there because I was telling her, listen, I'm going to close my case eventually because I'm not going to be on welfare for the rest of my life. I said, I've been doing it long enough, and at some point, y'all don't understand the rules of this shit is about to change because there's too many people staying home, being comfortable, and just depending on this shit. And she was like, yeah, what she said, I pay my taxes, so I deserve to be on this. I deserve to be a part of this. And I just looked at her like, if that ain't some ignorant shit to say, but okay, comfortable. Comfortable,
Yeah.
free. You can't tell me for 30 years you've been on it. So for 30 years you've been struggling. Now, what you can tell me is that I reached a point in my life where I had to go back to it. I ain't even mad at you. Get back on it until you get back to where you need to be. You're not going to tell me for 30 straight fucking years you was falling on hard times. Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
You was on hard times because you allowed yourself to be on hard times. Like I'm not gonna, like I told somebody, I think I told them yesterday, I am never comfortable. I'm not at that place in my life where I can say I'm comfortable. I can relax now. I still got things that I wanna achieve in my life. So
Yeah,
I'm always going to strive to do better or get better. I'm not at that point in my life where I can say, you know what? I'm comfortable. I don't have to work as hard. I don't have to bust my ass as much to get things that I need in my life. I got it where I can sit back and enjoy the fruits of my labor. I'm not at that point in my life. And I'm almost 50 years old,
yeah.
but I'm not at that point in my life.
But
And
free,
I'm
when
I
you
might
go,
I might not ever get to that point in my life. That's just some
but who,
that's
you
just
know
the
what?
reality of it.
And I tell people, you can't even blame the government for our behavior and our comfortable in this. We got to blame ourselves because, people will go, yeah, and I go, they treat you the way they treat us because they figure, hey, we don't need y'all. Y'all need us. And y'all show them
Right.
that every day. When you run up in these offices and you tripping, you wilding out, you spazzing out. It's my money. I need it now. And I'm like, yo,
Like I say,
bro.
like I said, I see people, they they do everything they gotta do to go get the food stamps, but they don't do everything they gotta do to get a job. You doing
No.
all this, like I said, you doing all this just to get $300 a month in food stamps, but you're
So
not doing what you need to do to get a job where you can get paid every week or every 2 weeks.
I had somebody I was talking to in the courthouse one day. You know, Usually there's a lot of information they can't put out, but he was like, listen, man, let me tell you something. There's a lot of stuff in this country that's about to change. People being
Yeah, it's
comfortable.
gonna change.
He was like, even with child support, he said the change that's gonna come with that is that all these women that think that they ain't gotta work, that all they gotta do is just take you, all that's about to change. You're about to get your ass up and go to work too. And that's not to say women that's on it is not working because there's a lot of them. But the ones that's too comfortable, oh, you about to get your ass up off the couch. All I got to do is wait for that check to come. All I got to do is wait for this check to come. Once this child support check come and the food stamps come, oh, it's up. It's up. I'm good. I ain't got to do shit. And if I feel like I need more money, I'll take his ass back to court. A lot of this shit that y'all are comfortable with, the food stamps and all this, and I'm a guy that's on it. I'm not comfortable with it, but it's my fault I'm still on it. You know why? Because I didn't fix certain shit that I need to get my black ass up and fix. But a lot of y'all that's comfortable, that's like, yo, man, I ain't got to go get that security job that D Free's telling me about. Why would I want to do that when I could just sit here and get these good old stamps? Why would I do that, Free?
Yeah, I mean,
why would I trade my comfortableness in to go work for you or to work for your company for 16 to 18 hours? Why would I do that, Free? Give me a valid reason. Why would I do that?
Like I tell people, like somebody asked me the other day, they were like, what you out there doing? Though I see you moving around. I'm doing DoorDash. You doing DoorDash? Yeah, I'm doing DoorDash. I want some extra money. Why not go get some easy extra money? I'm not doing anything else. I'm still handling my business while I'm out here doing DoorDash. I'm still doing interviews because the way I do my interviews is virtual. I'm still doing my interviews. I'm still putting people in the system while I'm out doing DoorDash. In between my deliveries,
and
I'm doing interviews.
That's got to be the most comfortablest feeling in the world, knowing that I could kill two birds at one stone. I could talk to you from my car and still go make me a damn delivery. That shit got to be heaven.
Yeah.
That's got to be
like
heaven.
I said, I'm still handling my business. They were like, you doing DoorDash, but you're a vice president of human resources. Yes, but there's nothing wrong with getting extra money. It's easy money. I tell BBO all the time when we be talking about this boxing. I said, dog, they were like, oh, that's an easy fight. Who don't want easy money? No, doing DoorDash is easy money. All I got to do is drive over here, pick up these items, and deliver them over there. And I'm getting paid.
Easy money, but what they have to understand is easy money is better than no money. And that's the problem.
No, I mean, me doing DoorDash a few hours out of my day, I make anywhere from $150 to $200 a day just doing DoorDash on top of my regular job that I do. I get paid for my regular job on tomorrow. The money that I made from DoorDash this week alone is going to be, my money for DoorDash this week alone, and the week is not even over. I'm at almost $1,000 right now. Just doing DoorDash.
And listen, and we're not
even over.
We're not judging people, but some of y'all, this is why the system treats y'all the way they do. That's why they treat y'all the way y'all do. Because y'all just look at it like y'all too comfortable. Oh, they made welfare specifically for black people. That's what y'all make it look like. They made welfare specifically for black people, which we're not the only ones on it, because I've been in the welfare where I've seen white people. But y'all make it so bad where they look like they made it exactly for us, because there's a lot of y'all that's not willing to get up off your couch and go do something. You spend 24, what Jay-Z said, I don't be in the project hallways talking about how I be in the projects all day. That's what some of y'all do. That's what some of y'all do.
Like I said, it's nothing wrong with going out there getting easy money. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, I mean, like I said, I make good money with my company, but I'm still gonna go out here and get this easy money. I'm gonna go out and get this easy money. If I hit the lottery and I hit the $1.4 billion, then I can sit back and chill. I can sit back and chill then.
Oh, it's just like you said.
But
it's just like you said the other day when we was talking about when you start making a certain amount of money on YouTube. Oh yeah, it's quiet. Let me make $7,000 to $10,000 a month. It's quiet. Oh, it's up. And quiet doesn't mean I sit. And mind you, Free. Quiet doesn't mean I just get the $10,000 to sit on my ass, because I still gotta flip that. I got the money, got to keep coming. That means I need merch. I need a microphone. I have to start investing into my brand. But once I get either $7,000 a month or $10,000 a month, oh yeah, my job can kiss my ass. Yeah, it's quiet. It's quiet.
I mean, if you get to that point where you're
Yeah,
making $7,000 from YouTube, then yeah, you could say, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do YouTube full time. I could just sit in my house in the comfortable environment of my house and do YouTube. Yeah, you can do that.
yeah,
I'm in a position with my company where I work from home. I can sit in the comfort of my own home and work. I
yeah,
choose to go out and do DoorDash because I want more things.
yeah.
DoorDash pays me every day. My company pays me every 2 weeks. So if I need something and I know the money that's in the bank account, stuff like that, bills and stuff like I'm gonna go out and do DoorDash, get that money, and go get what I want, and go get what my needs is taken care of because I have a regular job that has to care of my needs, that take care of my wants is from me doing DoorDash and going to take care of what I want and going to take care of that's the difference. A lot of people look at, oh, I need this. No, you don't need that. You want that. You don't
You
need it.
want it.
You need a roof over your head. You need clean clothes. You need lights on in your
Food on the
house.
table, all that.
Yeah,
Food
you
on the
need
table. Make sure the lights stay on in your house.
that's
Um,
what you need.
people get it twisted. They people what you craving for is what you think you need and you don't.
No, that's a want. Needs are things that's
I gotta have
essential
these
in your life.
$200 pair of Jordans. I gotta go to this fucking concert that I know the tickets is $300, but you know damn well your ass can't afford to go there. But you'll do everything in your power. You'll sell your damn food stamps to make sure your ass get to that concert. But don't keep that same energy when it's time to go look for a 9 to 5 job. Man, if y'all don't get the fuck out of here, who y'all think y'all talking to?
Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, me personally, and like I said, everybody has situations going on in their life. I don't know what's in your background or anything like that. But if you have a driver's license, you have a vehicle, there's no reason why you should be broke. There's DoorDash out here, there's Uber Eats, there's Grubhub, there's Lyft, there's Uber. You can make money. I mean, there's Amazon where you can deliver for Amazon. There's ways of making money if you got a driver's license and you got a car.
Dude can tell you all day that's not what I want to do, or it's some excuse.
Yeah, you don't
I,
you don't
I have
if
a
that's
permit,
not
but
what you
I don't
want.
have a license.
See, if that's the case, if that's not what you want to do, then what you're telling me is you don't want to succeed in life.
You don't want to
Because
do anything.
you don't
Because
want to
my thing is
succeed in
this.
life because
My thing is this, especially when it comes to our people, we can make money off of anything that'll keep our asses out of jail. There was a lady I remember during COVID. She started selling socks, fucking socks, and not just regular socks. She designed socks because she wasn't getting no shot. She was like, my job want me to get that shot. I'm not going to get the shot. Fuck it, I quit. I gave him about 22 years of my life anyway. That's it. I'm done. Designed these socks. Went to 125th and started selling these shits right by the Apollo. Free. This lady made a damn killing where, and it's been since COVID that this lady like I ain't never got to go back to work because now everybody hits her for these socks. I
yeah,
need my kid's picture on these socks. I need this. She done made so much money for it. The lady ain't got to do shit. She was like, if I knew this, I would have did this years ago.
like I said, if you said I don't want to do that or whatever, in order for you to tell me you don't want to do that, you got to tell me what's the better option. You got to have an option. You can't say I don't want to do that and you don't have any other option.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
If you if you don't have
what some people really trying to tell you is that they don't want to do anything. They're comfortable
and,
with where they
and like
at.
I
But
said,
when you get money and you get famous, they're always the first ones that say, "Don't forget about us. Don't forget about us, little people in the
and
hood."
I'm
Man,
and
I
I'm
don't
gonna
want to
tell
hear
you,
that
I'm gonna
shit.
tell you, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna forget about. I'm not gonna forget about you the same way you didn't forget about that job you could have had. The same way you didn't forget about those other options with the advice that I gave you. When you didn't forget about those, then I won't forget about you. But if you forgot about those, I forgot about you as well. I'm not helping nobody that's not trying to help themselves. And like
No, and that's the problem.
I tell my own kids that if I don't see you trying, don't ask me for anything. If you're not
Yeah,
trying to do for yourself, don't ask me for nothing because I'm not going to sit here and help a grown person I'm not going to take care of a grown person that has all the activities of their limbs and has all the same opportunities that I have. If you're
Yeah,
not trying, why would you ask me for help when I'm out here busting my ass to get where I'm at?
we got
You
to, we
have the
got,
same capabilities of doing the same things that I do. I have a vehicle with a license and I work for DoorDash or I work for Amazon or I work for Uber or I work for Uber Eats or whatever have you. And I'm out here busting my ass to get this money. And you have the same opportunity to do the same thing. And you say, oh nah, I don't wanna do all that driving. Well then you don't want no money.
no, you don't. And
You don't
that's,
want no money.
this is the excuses. And these are the people that when you get off of work, you go to work.
I give you a perfect example. I give you a perfect example. If a hustler saying, yeah, I got all the connects, I got all that, but I don't want to hustle. Well, then you don't want this money that these hustlers are making. You never heard a hustler say, I got all the connects, but I don't want to hustle.
What?
Not a hustler. Now you might have
No,
heard a
that's
regular person say, hey, I know people that
and,
I know connects, but I don't do that type of
and
that's
check
not
this
my
though.
lifestyle.
For y'all that don't understand, and connects are not even just always time drug dealers. Connects could be anybody that can get you that bag or get you the way you need to be. In boxing, I know a lot of promoters and shit. I know a lot of sponsored people that I'd be like, yo, that's the connect right there. That's the person that could get me to where the fuck I need to be. But you know what, Free? Because I'm not interested, I'm good.
What
I'm good.
you dog,
The
you
fuck?
can't be a chef. You can't say I have a culinary license and they hiring for chef. You like, I don't like their type of food. Nigga, what do you have the license for? Ain't nobody
Oh
asked you to eat it.
man.
We say cook it.
You can't make
We
this
didn't
up,
say
man.
eat it. We said cook it.
These are the people that you know, you don't want to down them because the first thing people go is you act like you ain't black. It's not about that. Y'all got to think about some
I
of the
just
shit y'all say before y'all say it. Some of the stuff y'all say makes me ashamed to even to be around y'all
that's the same
sometimes.
thing I told my ex-wife this before we had split up. I said, if you spend all the energy into you getting a job or working as you spending to making excuses why you ain't gotta work, you'll be a manager right now. You give me all the excuses in the world why you can't work. You ain't give me not a single excuse why you should work.
Mm. Her response was,
You can't tell me what to do. You ain't my father. I'm not gonna tell you what to do.
I'm
But I
not
bet you
telling
do
you
it when
what
you by
I'm not
yourself.
telling you what to do. But aren't we married? I mean, I thought this
I,
so I
I
felt
know.
like
I
she
said
was what
I'm not telling you what to do, but I bet you do it when you by yourself.
because
What you doing right now?
I was
Out
gonna
there
say
working.
there's no I in team. There's no I in team once we get married, so I'm not telling you what to do. But that's crazy. Well, that's why
Like
she
I said,
found out the hard way.
she out there working right now. I told her, I said, I bet you do it when you by yourself.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna sit here and do everything while you on your ass or you going to do what you want. There's no I in team.
Uh,
And that's why Tiff,
like I
me
said,
and her always, we understood that. There's no I in team. That's why she's my partner when it comes to me doing No Doug Zone. Because I'm like, all right, there's no I in team, and we got to do this together. We got to get it where, because I don't want her working no more. I told her I'm only giving you about another year or two, and you're not gonna work no more because hopefully this No Doug Zone shit gets the way it needs to be, and it can't get the way it need to be if I don't push it. And that's another thing. You got a brand or you got some type of business or some type of idea that you want to push, you better go ahead and do it. Because that idea is not going to always exist. It's not going to always be there. And it's not going to always wait for you. So you got an
yeah.
idea of what you want to do. You better stop trying to hold on to it. I got time. No, you don't. You got time for what? You got an idea what you want to do. Go ahead and push it and stop thinking, I got time. I ain't got no much time
So
with no
I'm
Doug
I'm
Zone.
gonna tell you,
I ain't got no time with no Doug Zone.
you
I told Tiff at a certain time I
you
gotta
ain't
push no Doug Zone. I gotta push it. I gotta
you
do what I gotta do.
you ain't gotta you ain't gotta listen. You ain't gotta listen to me. Just listen to all of the rich people and what they tell you. If you have a dream, you gotta push for it. You gotta go out there and make it happen, make it reality. There's not a single celebrity or a single entertainer that would tell you anything different. They said if you got something that you want, you gotta go out there and push for it, make it happen. Nobody's gonna believe in you but you. So if you don't believe in yourself, what makes you think I'm gonna believe in you?
You know why people don't want to do it? Because they want shit to come easy. When you start telling people what they gotta do to get to where they need to be, nah, that's too much. That's too much. I'd rather go get it this way. But then, like I said, once you become something, they want PC in it. Fuck out of here.
They ain't got to worry about me. When I become something, the only people that's gonna have my phone number is my immediate family. If you ain't a
Yeah,
mother, sister, brother, or or
I
or,
tell them all
or
the time.
a daughter or son or wife or grandkids, you ain't gonna have my phone. My phone number will change if
Listen,
I ever came into becoming a millionaire or well off. My number will change. My number
I
will
got one
not
better
still
for
be the
you.
same.
Once I get monetized and you thinking, oh God, yeah, hell no. It's gonna be certain people who think they gonna be able to call me. Because you know, everybody wants to know what you make and how much you get in a month. It ain't none of your fucking business what I'm getting a month. You won't know.
My, I already know what the question's gonna be. My mother gonna say, Dwayne, why you changing your phone number? Cause I don't want none of the old people to have my phone number. I know what the question's about to come. They about to say, hey, can you help me out? No. I don't
Can
want
you
none of them
imagine
having
getting
my phone number. This is
10?
this
Can
this
you
is
imagine getting 10?
this
Can
is
you
only
imagine
for the
getting
immediate
10?
family.
Can you imagine getting 10,000 a month? And the question, oh man, that's just 10,000. Oh man, get the fuck
No, I don't.
out.
No, I don't care if you ask me for $100. I'm the type of person. If I will help out anybody. But if I don't see you doing for yourself, I'm not helping you. I'm just not.
Like
Like I
somebody,
got I
somebody,
got things that I gotta get. I got things that I gotta take care of, and I need to take care of them by tomorrow. Not one time have I asked anybody to help me out. I went out and bust my ass. Like I said, I'm doing DoorDash. I got my regular job. I'm doing what I got to do to take care of what I need to get taken care of. I'm not asking anybody for anything. If somebody see me out here doing what I'm doing and they say, "Hey, man, I see you doing a lot of DoorDash that you don't normally do. You got some things going on?" I'll talk to them. If I might talk to them. I ain't gonna say I will talk to them. I might talk to them. If they say they want to help out, so be it. But I'm not asking anybody for anything. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to take care of what I need to take care of. But
yeah,
if I don't see you trying to take care of your own business, why am I gonna put myself into your business? I'm not offering. I don't see you trying to help yourself. Now, if I see you out there, you working double time, you doing this, you doing that, trying to scrape up some money to get what you got to get taken care of, I'm like, hey man, I see you doing a lot of work. Everything straight? You need some extra money or something? And
yeah,
I got it. I help you out. But
yeah,
if I don't see that coming from you, I'm not. I'm like, damn, okay, everything must be good with him.
yeah,
I got
yeah,
I got I got open shifts over here. You ain't taking none of the open shifts. Okay, I guess you good.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and people just don't understand that, man. Like me sitting on here every day, it's difficult, but I'm still handling my business. So a lot of times when I get off, I'm going to handle my business. I have to do what I have to do. But you see how I put in work in here every day? Every day. I don't, yo, free. I don't even jump on Instagram to do videos like that. Like now, you know, it's just a lot of posting. Now that I see I can do this, I'm like, oh yeah, it's up now. But You see me consistent every day. Every day is consistency. And it'll always be consistency. If you never see me go live, it's because, oh, something happened that I have to go take care of. But it's always consistent. And that's how it's supposed to be. And that's what y'all should better start recognizing and stop sitting around depending on the government to take care of your punk ass. That goes for me
Oh
too.
shit! I gotta put an ad out. We about to get this damn big ass contract.
Oh Lord, I thought you was
Nah,
about to say hold on. I thought you was about to say I gotta put a warrant out. I was gonna say a
no, it's
warrant.
it's
The
a it's a,
fuck?
it's a contract for the Washington Commanders' new stadium. We're about to secure that contract. So I gotta
Oh
put
man,
an
I need
ad
to
out.
move out there. I need to move out there, free. I need a job. I need to move out there. This
They
is
just
crazy.
that's why you saw my screen go black, because they just sent a message saying I need to put an ad out. We got to secure this contract.
I gotta come out there. I gotta come out there. This is crazy. I'm not a Commandos fan, but I don't mind working in the stadium. I don't mind. I'll work in the stadium.
Shit, we ain't asking nobody to be a Commanders fan. We asking you to work. You ain't gotta. You could be a Dallas Cowboy fan. You could be a New York Giants fan. You can be a San Francisco fan.
I just don't want to see my
If
New
your
York
ass,
Giants. I don't want to see my New York Giants fans come out there for a game and get their ass whipped in the parking lot. I don't want to have to be the guy to witness that.
and see that's the thing. That's the thing. You don't see a lot of that with the Washington Commanders fans. Only time you see something like that go down is if we're playing against the Dallas Cowboys or we're playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. That's the only time you see it, because their fans,
Why is it always the Cowboys or the Eagles? What is it about those two
their
teams
their
that ruffle
their
your
fans,
feathers?
they have two of the worst fan base in the entire football industry. And it's not,
Mm.
when I say worst fan base, I'm talking about how they conduct themselves. They have
Oh,
two of the
okay.
worst fan base on how they conduct themselves. Like, they go well above and beyond what they need to do. Like, if your team win, you can brag or whatever. But these
Yeah.
niggas, when they team lose, you can be a good sport and like, hey, I mean, that was a good game. Your team did their thing. We'll be back next time. Nah, these niggas, they get in their feelings and they ready to fight everybody. I'm like, that's why a lot of times niggas be like, you going to the Cowboys Washington game? A lot of times I'd be like, nah, I'm not going. Because I know how these fans get. I've been to a Cowboy Washington game. I've been to an Eagles Washington game. I know how they get. Sometimes their team will win and they still be acting like that.
I seen
I'm like,
something. It was
too much.
I be watching them YouTube fights when they be in the crowd. I see, oh, these football fans is bananas.
Now, I never been in a situation where I got into a fight, but I've seen fights break out around me. Like, I seen a couple of seats down, niggas got into it. I seen a couple of seats in front of me, niggas got into it. But I never had the situation,
I
because
seen the
I'm
dude
not
get
that type of person.
I seen the dude get hit. They knocked his ass about 3 rows down. I said,
I
damn.
seen it. I seen it.
I said, yo, they don't be playing
I seen it.
football
I
and
seen it. I seen
baseball.
a dude at a
They don't play in football and baseball. It's different in those two sports. It's different.
yeah. I seen a dude knock the dude out. It was at the it was a game. I think it was Washington versus the Ravens, if I'm not, yeah, Washington versus the Ravens last year. The Ravens won, and the Raven fan was out there knocking out white dudes that was Commanders fans. He knocked out like 2 or 3 white dudes that was Commander fans. I'm like, your team won.
But
What the hell is the problem?
was it something said that caused it?
Nah, Nah, the nigga was just like, he was just walking down the street just swinging on dudes. Like, these dudes wasn't
Nah.
saying nothing. They was just walking to their car. The nigga just walked up behind him and swung on him. Like, one dude, the first one, I don't know if somebody said something to him or not. But the other dude, he had literally just walked out of the building, and he was walking to his car. After he knocked that dude out, he ran up and knocked that dude out. I was like, Damn, nigga, your
See,
team just won.
see, but this is why people keep heat on them. This is why then they wonder why people keep weapons on them. Because you can't just randomly just go around knocking dudes out just because our team won and we don't like you or whatever. Like, you just can't do that. That's crazy. It used to never be like that in sports. You go enjoy yourself. Now you got to worry about if I wear this jersey and rather if we win or lose, something going to happen because somebody going to take a swing at me. That's why when I go to them games, I don't have time for that shit. I don't have time for none of that. I'm not playing them type of games with people, man. Straight
Let
up.
me
I'm not.
go. Let me go put this ad up. But I'm gonna holler at you, Clarence.
Go
I
ahead.
gotta
Yeah,
put
yeah. I
this
got to get
ad
ready to
up.
get off here anyway. Appreciate you, Free.
That's about no problem.
All right, y'all. We're going to take this down. I want to thank my brother D Free for always coming up here and everybody that's in the chat. Miss Fields, Tay came, Jeff Spark, BC, BVO, everybody that came through here, man. I appreciate y'all. You know I love y'all. Of course, we'll be back this afternoon. It is Throwback Thursday, so we're going to have that throwback boxing talk. Corey Spinks versus Zab Super Judah. We're going to get into the first fight and the second one. So we got work to do today, baby. So all of y'all be safe out there. And please arrive wherever you're arriving. And always remember to keep God first before anything. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You know what it is. It's the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go.